the last video, I talked about how to use the app bar component. Now we will talk about the components you might add to it, like a menu. It is similar structured like the list component, but the menu opens up a model. And to manage the state, it uses the open property. However, you also need to provide the anchor element, otherwise your menu will not know where to render. So to control the menu, you just need a use state to set the element when you click. In this case, I will open my menu when I click on my icon button and set the anchor to the current target, which is the icon button. Then, you will set that value to the menu's anchor element and open it if it exists. You also need to provide the unclosed prop, so there is a way to close it as well, setting the anchor to null. It accepts an event and a reason if you want to add your custom logic for it. I explained this function on my video on dialogues and snack bars if you want to check it out. And there you have it, a menu. Let's talk about its content. Inside the menu, we have the menu item component, which essentially it is just a button. If you want to add icons or other components, you can use list item text and list item icon, components you have learned previously on my other video. Well, I hope so. Additionally, the menu item have the dense prop to remove some of the vertical padding and disable gutters to remove the horizontal padding. You can also provide the prop divider if you need a separation line between menu items, and the selected prop if it is a menu item that can be selected. This also works for the list item button as well. This is looking kind of ugly, so let's remove some of the props. Much better. Since the pop-over props are available, you can manage the menu's position with the anchor origin prop. The menu internally uses the menu list component, so technically you can remove the popover by using the menu list component and menu items to achieve something like this. You can get similar results using the list component as well, so whatever works for you. The drawer component also uses the model component, so it uses the open and unclosed properties to manage the states. You can change the position in which the model slides from with the anchor prop. It can be top, left, right, or bottom. It accepts a children, commonly a list. You can provide the height backdrop to remove the backdrop, and the elevation prop to change the paper's elevation that I also explained on my last video. You can see that it has a slight transition, so that component's prop is also available, and you can modify the timing as well, in which it appears on enter and on exit. I will explain the transitions offered in Material UI on a separate video. The drawer component also have variants. In the persistent variant, the drawer stays on screen and does not make use of the unclosed prop, and instead it needs the action of another element, like this button, to close it. And the permanent variant just stays there forever and ever. In fact, Material UI also uses this kind of drawer on the documentation. Now, let's talk about the link component. It uses the typography component, so its props are available. By default, it has a color of primary, and the prop underline is set to always. You can set it to none if you don't want it to be underlined, or hover to show it when hovering over the link. It is an A element, so its props are also available. You can change this with the component prop as well. Links are also used within the breadcrumbs component. This is like your navigation directory. By default, the breadcrumbs give its children the color text secondary from the palette, so the links can inherit that color. You can also add icons inside the links for a more elegant look, but really you can customize it however you want. It is also possible to change the separator using the separator prop. It accepts a React node, so you can get creative with it. You can also set a certain amount of items to show on the breadcrumbs using the max items prop, and it will show an ellipsis in between if there is more than the amount set, that when clicked, it will show the other options. If you want to show a number of items before and after the ellipsis, you can do it with the items before collapse and items after collapse. The ellipsis is also customizable using the slots element, which it is useful if you want to modify any component that the breadcrumbs uses internally. That is for me, beautiful people. I hope you are enjoying my content. Feel free to explore my other videos on the playlist and comment anything in particular, like what's your favorite component to use. I see you on my next video. Bye!